What's your operating number?
Hi, this is Brian Dudas, Carolina Garrison's Executive Officer, 501st Legion. Today we're going to be answering your questions that you guys sent in to us.
What made you get into trooping with CG 501st?
I've always known about the 501st Legion. I actually thought it was a little harder to get in, so I kind of hung back a little. And then I had a friend I work with who knew somebody that had a biker scout costume for sale, and there I began my journey.
How many costumes do you have, and what is your favorite one?
Currently I have 3 costumes. I have a biker scout, I have a clone commander blackout, which is the only one in the Legion right now, and a first order stormtrooper. I would say my favorite is blackout because, like I said, I'm the only one. I like it. It's actually the most comfortable costume as far as comfort-wise goes, because they're all not really comfortable. So I would say blackout would be my favorite right now.
What's been the best experience while trooping?
The best experience I had while trooping, there's been a couple. One sporting event I did, there was a blind child in the corner with their family, and they were just kind of hanging back. They weren't really coming up to us. So I saw that, and I just went up to them, talked to the mom. The mom was ecstatic that I was over there. So I kneeled down as best as I could, so the little girl could feel my armor, and she loved that, and was just it was really cool. I'm glad I did this, because I know this can be a very expensive hobby sometimes, and that was kind of justification right there. So I really liked that. And another time it was a hospital visit in North Carolina, and we were doing our thing, and I was next to a kid that was in a gurney. And so I was over there, and he was, thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. Then I went to move away because, I thought we were done. I thought they needed to get him out of there. So he starts crying. And I was like, oh, I thought my armor might have caught an IV tube or something, and, I was like, what happened? He didn't want me to leave. So right then and there, I was like, all right, I'm so glad I'm doing this. This is great. And I'm glad I had a helmet on, because it was pretty heavy right then. But it was cool. He was fine. Good times all around.
What, in your mind, is the hardest costume in the CRL?
I would have to say the hardest costume right now, just off the top of my head, Boba Fett. Boba Fett's probably one of the most intricate costumes, depending on which version. I know there's a couple different versions, with all his pieces and shin tools and tubes and jetpacks, and yeah, I would definitely say Boba Fett right now.
What is your favorite movie or show of the saga?
I would have to say my favorite movie, Empire Strikes Back, because I actually remember seeing that in the movie theater with my aunt when I was very little, and I just gravitate towards the Empire Strikes Back. That kind of solidified being a Star Wars fan for me. My favorite show, obviously since I'm a clone, would be Clone Wars. Being able to participate in some of the clone specific events at Star Wars Celebration, seeing the fans, the rabid fan base for Clone Wars, that's great. It's great. I love the Clone Wars, obviously, since I'm a clone.
If you could bring back one character that has been killed off in the saga, who would you pick?
The character I would bring back, the Rancor.
Advice for new members. Other than just showing up for a first troop, what is the best way to get to know other members, especially when spread over 2 states?
The best way to get to know some of the older members, if it's going to be your first troop, obviously reach out on our carolinagarrison.net, on any of the social media that we're on. If it's a local troop to you, like I said, look on the event form who is going to be attending and touch base with them. Let them know it's your first troop. Have fun.
Start off with a Stormtrooper or bounty hunter, or start off from a character from the new movie.
Okay, so this is a two-part question. You're wanting to know if you want to be a bounty hunter or Stormtrooper. I would say if you're just starting out, I would start off with the Stormtrooper. It might be a little easier to tackle by yourself, or if you have help. I would go that route first, just to get your chops built up, so to say. The Captain Phasma question, there is a current CRL for her, and me being a First Order Stormtrooper, I would love to have a Captain Phasma in the Carolina Garrison. That would be great. Okay, so you're still undecided about which character to choose, so I'm going to choose it for you and say you need to work on a Captain Phasma, because we need one or two.
Can the handlers get a polo or something to identify them as such?
Okay, so the question is if a handler can have some kind of ID or t-shirt or polo made. The answer to that question is no. Per Legion specifics, they won't allow that sort of item. But what you can do, and what I have done in the past, if I have a family member with me that is going to be handling for me, I'll just give them one of my Garrison t-shirts, or if have them wear a Star Wars specific shirt. The general public is going to see that person there with you. They know you're helping out, because a lot of the costumes we just can't see in. And I know I rely on handlers a lot, especially in the First Order Stormtrooper, because I can't get the helmet off myself. So if you are a member, we do have t-shirt runs going on right now. What I'd say is just pick up a couple t-shirts. That's perfectly acceptable.
Can the Garrison have a family day event, somewhere centrally located in the entire bi-state area?
If you're a Garrison member, anyone can make a event. It doesn't have to be specifically Star Wars related. If you're wanting to do get to know the Garrison picnic, throw it up on the boards, see who's interested. I know we're in 2 states, and you know, geography can be challenging for some folks, but hey, you never know. I mean, I know in my area we've done like a local Christmas party, so throw it up on the board, see who has interest, because you never know.
What about a Garrison how-to clinic day?
Okay, that question, Armory Party. If you are not a member yet, it's a little weird for us to put on the boards we're going to have a public Armory Party, because we don't know you and we don't know who would be showing up at our house. So what I would do would introduce yourself on the boards if you're not a member. Put the feelers out there, because we do have armor parties from time to time. Get to know us, come to an event, reach out to one of us. Like I said, get to know us so we can get to know you, and we'll help you out.
Which costume character is the Carolina Garrison in need of?
I would say the characters we're in need of, you can never have too many Stormtroopers. The more Stormtroopers, the better. Me being a clone, I would love to see a full Delta squad in the Carolina Garrison. I think that would be pretty bad. Any and all Star Wars costumes.
What Star Wars ship would you claim as yours?
Well, obviously the Star Wars ship I would claim as mine is the one that Commander Blackout is in charge of stealth operations. So it doesn't have a name, but it is in Season 2, Episode 16, the Cat and Mouse episode from Clone Wars. That's my ship. I will take it.
I see approved costumes, and I'm not sure where to find the specs. How do we find these?
If you're unsure of the costume specs, each costume in the 501st Legion has what it's called as a CRL. That is the benchmark guideline for each specific costume. We can put a link up right now and just go there and you can check out whatever costume you have a question on, and it's all there in the database. If there is one you're not sure of that there is no CRL for, reach out to one of us. We can point you in the right direction.
Who are Rey's parents?
Who are Rey's parents? Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxers or briefs. All right. If anyone's been around me at an event, gearing up or gearing down, you know what happens. All right. Thanks for sticking around and listening to me ramble on about the questions. I hope I answered them to the best of your liking. If you have any other questions, I would go ahead and jot them down. Let us know. Send them in to any of our social media or on carolinagarrison.net. And I would say the next person that would be answering your questions will be Anthony Conti. He is the Carolina Garrison Merchandise and Branding Officer. So, like I said, thanks a lot. See y'all later. Happy trooping.